Let me tell you about the day Justice walked into a courtroom and made everyone forget how to breathe. And no, I'm not exaggerating. It was one of those mornings where you could practically feel the air buzzing before anything even happened. You know what I mean? So picture this. It's a gloomy Monday downtown, the courthouse packed so tight there's barely room to exhale, folks eyeing the clock, lawyers in cheap suits trying not to look nervous. And in the middle of all that mess, there's Denise Carter, yeah. That's her, sitting there in this sharp navy suit, calm as a pond before a storm, just flipping through her folder like the noise around her's got nothing to do with her, which honestly made her stand out more. But then there's Officer Bradley Walker, stomping through the back of the room like he owns the place, you know the type, the guy whose reputation enters a room before he does, and none of it's good. People talk, and what they say about Bradley isn't flattering, but he walks with the kind of swagger only someone totally clueless about their own limitations can pull off. He spots Denise, and, I kid you not, he decides on the spot she doesn't belong. Doesn't ask, doesn't check, just tells her to get out of the seat like he's king of the courthouse, and she's some lost tourist. Now, Denise, she just gives him this look, not scared, not angry, just steady like she's seen this movie before and already knows how it ends. She says, calm as ever, I'm here on official business. And you'd think maybe he'd pause, right? Not Bradley. Nope. He kicks at the leg of her chair, hard enough that her papers go flying. Then he mutters something nasty under his breath. Thinks nobody heard, but people did. You could feel the shock ripple across the room, but Denise? She doesn't snap. She just bends down, picks up her stuff, gives him this tiny smile that says, nice try, and sits right back down. Here's the twist. Though Bradley has no idea who he's messing with, Denise Carter isn't just some face in the crowd. She's a legend in law enforcement circles, the person they call when a department needs to be turned inside out and put back together right. Rumor was she'd just been hired to clean up a certain precinct, but the official announcement? Scheduled for later that day. Only Denise, being smart, shows up early in plain clothes to see for herself how officers act when they don't think the boss is watching. What she sees, well, let's just say it confirmed every warning she'd heard about Officer Walker. But Denise, being Denise, keeps her cool. No public drama, just mental notes. She isn't there for a fight, she's playing the long game. Some people need to be exposed, not argued with. And she knows, sooner or later, the spotlight will land exactly where it needs to. Fast forward to that afternoon, the precinct's briefing room is jammed wall to wall with uniforms. Everyone whispering, trying to guess who the new chief is. Bradley's there, still riding high off his little victory, laughing to anyone who'll listen about the nobody he put in her place at court. The mayor comes in, all formal, taps the mic, and you could feel the air freeze. Ladies and gentlemen, meet your new chief of police, Denise Carter. I swear, you could hear jaws hit the floor. Denise walks in, this time in full dress blues, badge shining. Her presence so strong it's like gravity shifted. Some officers look away, a couple just gape, and Bradley, man, his face goes from cocky to ghost white in 2 seconds flat. He tries to talk, can't get a word out. Honestly, that alone felt like justice. And Denise? She steps up, owns the room without even raising her voice. Talks about honor, the responsibility they all carry, how this job is about protecting everyone with respect, no exceptions. Then, without missing a beat, she looks right at Bradley and calls him up. Whole room goes silent. You could feel hearts pounding, even from the hallway. She pulls a paper from her folder and says, Officer Walker, you're suspended, effective immediately, pending investigation for your actions in court today and previous complaints. That's it, no yelling, no theatrics, just the cold, clean truth handed over in front of every single person who matters. You should have seen Bradley's hands shaking so hard he could barely hold the paper, lips moving but nothing coming out. A few of his buddies look away, but there's this little ripple and nod here, a quiet sigh there, and suddenly you get the feeling not everyone's sorry to see him go. But here's where it gets good. Denise doesn't just drop the hammer and bounce. She turns the whole thing into a masterclass in leadership, sets the tone, says there's zero room for hate or abuse under her watch, and the rest of the department? They fall in line quick. It's like someone finally opened a window and let in fresh air. Ethics training, new policies, accountability, she rolls it all out, and even the skeptics can't deny things are changing. Oh, but let me back up a sec, because there's one more twist nobody saw coming. One of the officers in the back, a guy named Luis, usually quiet, keeps to himself, steps up after the meeting, asks to speak privately. Turns out, he'd been targeted by Bradley months before, tried to report it, but got shut down. Now, with Denise in charge, he finally feels safe to tell his story, and it opens the floodgates. Turns out, Bradley's little stunt in the courtroom was just the tip of the iceberg, and Denise's arrival meant a whole lot of people finally got their voices back. So yeah, Denise Carter didn't just put a bully in his place, she changed the culture, made it possible for good people to step up, and turn a department everyone used to side-eye into a place folks could actually be proud of. And you know what? That's the kind of win you don't see coming, but when it lands, it sticks with you. Now, maybe you're thinking, if you were in Denise's shoes, would you have called him out in court? Or would you wait, like she did, until everyone was watching? That's the real question, isn't it? Sometimes, the best revenge is letting people show you exactly who they are, then letting the world see it too. So, what's your move, handle in the moment, or wait for the perfect shot? Either way, one thing's for sure. If more folks had the guts and patience of Denise Carter, maybe the world wouldn't be so quick to look away when power gets abused. Drop your take below. I know this story's got folks fired up, and honestly, I want to hear it all. Right or wrong, justice or revenge. What do you think really moves the needle?